This is the L2C Media Network, and it's a Freaky Friday, folks. This is Sports Final with Steve Bexley, sponsored by the L2C Media Network. Now, with all the details from the headlines that make the sports world spin, here's our host, the Baxman, Steve Bexley. One day we ought to get graphics here. Anyway, speaking of which, before we go any further on the show, you know who I am, so we don't need to do that. And if you're hearing noises other than, well, blame Uno. Here we go. Blame Uno. The mouse is answering. I love my little Uno. Anyway, speaking of which, before we go any further into tonight's broadcast of sports, we have no graphics. We do this on a low budget. How low? We have dry erase sports. And I know there's a lot of you out there that's saying, hey, Baxman, give us that $1 billion Mega Millions numbers if you can, sir. And yes, we can and will. And here they are right there on your little screen, and I will read them to you. For $1 billion. Billion. Mm-hmm. There are your numbers. Let's get them on full here. 40, not 40. For $1 billion, the numbers are 4, 26, 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. 50, 60, and the big ball is numero 24. So once again, those numbers, if you got them, you just got yourself $1 billion, which is like, about 700 million after taxes. 4, 26, 42, 50, 60, and 24. You know how I can read them? Not just on the screen, but we got them right there on the board there. Hey. Okay, so there they are. If you need them, we'll give them to you at the end of the show. And we welcome you always to this broadcast. Hi there. You can get on the backside there, Uno. Okay, folk. Time for us to do what we do best. But before we do anything, if Mandy is watching us live, Mandy Summers is watching us live, or on that lovely thing known as a rebroadcast, did a little sneaky here. And if you forgot the email, now I'm on MySpace. MySpace is making a comeback. Found out today on Mandy's stream that she is also on MySpace, but she is locked out. I did a little diggy, and here you go. If you forgot the email address you used to sign up with MySpace, I'm going to say it again slowly, because sometimes I run things together. Now, the question was, how do I log into MySpace if I forgot my email and password? It is simple. And this is what I did to get mine unlatched. If you forgot the email address you used to sign up with MySpace, you can enter your username to log into your account. Now, you will be required to enter your password. If you don't remember your password, try forget password. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this will send an email to the email address they have on file for the username you entered. Now, here's a little tricky for you. Now, I forgot that's how if you forgot your email and password, that's how you do that. Now, if you use a long-forgotten disposable email address to sign up for MySpace, or you no longer have access to the original email account, all you have to do is fill in the MySpace online declaration of ownership form to reset your login information. So if you can't remember your email address you use for MySpace, just do a little fill in the MySpace online declaration of ownership form to reset your login information. That's what I also had to do. So you can do that right there. So there you go, little business for all yous there. Okay, speaking of business, it's our pleasure. It's our honor. Let's open up the Sports Chalet, everybody. Chalet, chalet, chalut. Did I just do something I'm going to live to regret? Did I? Please say I did not. No, I did not. Okay, there we are. Hi. Had to make sure. Now then, let's get over to the Sports Chalet here. And there's a lot we can do here in sports. Before we get to the fun, we have a couple of serious news items here. Of course, topping the sports news is the passage of this today at the age of 86. The Atlanta Braves announced Friday morning, and CBS 46 in Atlanta first reported the news. Aaron established himself as an inner circle all-time great during the course of his 23-year career with the Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves, and Milwaukee Brewers from 54 to 76. In his career, he hit 305, 374, 555 with 624 doubles, 755 home runs, 2,297 ribs with extra sauce, 2,174 runs, 2,174, 3,771 hits, and 240 stolen bases. He retired as the all-time homer and held the record for decades. He is still the all-time leader in RBIs and total bases. He also holds the record for the most all-star games at 25 and the most seasons as an all-star at 21. Now, for a stretch, Major League Baseball held 2 all-star games per year. The 57th National League MVP, Aaron also won 3 Gold Gloves, 2 batting titles, while leading the league in home runs 4 times, RBIs 4 times, runs 3 times, hits twice, doubles 4 times, slugging 4 times, and OPS 3 times. He won the World Series with the 57 Braves and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in his first try in 82. Now, the biggest moment most remembered of Aaron's career was surpassing Babe Ruth's 714 career home runs, April 8th, 1974. Now, in terms of those career stats we gave you, Aaron stacks up as well as anyone. He's 4th in history in runs, 3rd in hits, 13th in doubles, 2nd in home runs, 1st in RBIs, 27th in walks, 24th in OPS plus, 1st in total bases, 1st in extra base hits, 7th in times on base, 4th in intentional walks. He's even 4th in sac flies. Now, there are few who can even come close to that type of stat prowess Aaron put together on the field. For example, he's one of just 3 players with at least 2,000 runs and 2,000 RBIs. Babe Ruth and Alex Rodriguez were the other 2. Try this one. His lead in total bases is 722. Now, among position players, Aaron ranks 5th in career behind Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, and Ty Cobb. Aaron's prestigious offense wasn't regulated to regular season play. In 17 postseason games, he hit 362, 405, and 710 with 6 home runs, 16 ribs with special sauce. The 57 World Series title was the first for the Braves since moving from Boston. During that series, Aaron went 11 for 28 with a triple, 3 homers. No one else on his team had more than 5 hits, and Aaron drove home 7 of the Braves' 22 runs. In the 69 NLCS, the Braves were swept by the Mets in 3 games, but Aaron went 5 for 14 with 2 homers while driving home 7 of the Braves' 15 runs. Incredible. Aaron was born and raised in conditions bordering on poverty in Mobile, Alabama. He was expected to take part and making family money from a young age, picking cotton among other jobs. His family couldn't afford to get him baseball equipment, so he learned how to hit with a broomstick and bottle caps. Come high school, his talent took over, and he was catching on with the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro Baseball League at age 17. After the Clowns took the Negro League World Series in '52, Aaron got offers from the Giants and Braves. He spent 87 games in C League, roughly equivalent to Class A these days, at age 18, then 137 games in A League, around double or triple A. At age 19, before hitting the bigs in '54 at age 20, and never looking back. He finished fourth in the National League Rookie of the Year voting in '54. The next year, he was an All-Star. Finished ninth in MVP voting and led the league in doubles. 2 years later, he won MVP, and the Braves were world champs. He wouldn't miss another All-Star game in a season until he was 42, his final year. Now, as we noted, Aaron wasn't just one of the greatest, if not the greatest baseball player ever. He was an exemplary human being off the field, carrying a modest form to his final days. Current Astros manager Dusty Baker came up with the Braves in '68 and played with the already legendary Aaron through '74. Friday, Baker told Astros reporter Brian McTaggart, quote, "Aaron was second only to my dad, and my dad meant the world to me," end quote. In addition to all his baseball accolades, Aaron was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal by President Bill Clinton in 2001, and the President Medal of Freedom by President George W. Bush in 2002. Aaron now has an award named for him, as the Hank Aaron Award is given to the best hitter in each league each season by Major League Baseball. Incredible. A portion of Aaron's Hall of Fame plaque includes quotes from Georgia Congressman Andrew Young that says the following, end quote. Says the following, quote, "Through his long career, Hank Aaron has been a model of humility, dignity, and quiet competence. He did not seek the adoration that is accorded to other national athletic heroes, yet he has now earned it," end quote. The baseball world lost one of its truly iconic and more celebrated figures today. Hank Aaron was 86 years old. We pause briefly for the 10 bells. And welcome back. Okay, let us not delay. Let's go to college b-ball, folk. That's right, we got some college b-ball for you. Some good action, and believe it or not, or is that point? Nerf. Folks, get ready because we got some college basketball. I do believe only a single game was played today. Wow. A single, boys and girls, a single game played today. And like I said, we got some big old news for you. So forgive us if we go beyond the 45 minutes we have you here. We will take you on the mark. This is going to be an interesting evening. Let's take you now to our scoreboard for the NCAA men's basketball and women's, and of course every other piece of scoreboard excitement we have for you today. Little reminder, our scoreboard and the scores therein are brought to you by the folks at William Hill Sportsbook. William Hill Sportsbook. William Hill, bet on yourself. And remember, to bet responsibly. And if you have a little gambling problem, because here in Michigan, they have already started online betting. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7177. 1-800-270-7177. Let's get you some of the games in NCAA basketball land. And you're kidding. Just one game that was played. Number 7th ranked Michigan over Purdue, 70-53. You got to be kidding. This is going to be an easy 45 minute show. And how about the ladies? How about the ladies? How about the ladies? We got some scores for you. The ladies. It's ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Ladies' night. Okay, let's get going. Wow. Okay, let's go to it. We're going to call this game right now because, well, we're 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 6th-ranked UCLA leads 5th-ranked Stanford by 2, 68-66. That game on the Pac-12 network. Right now about 44 seconds. So I think we're going to say UCLA may have just topped it. So we'll come back to that for your final update there. Let's keep going. 10th ranked Arizona beat Utah 66-54, and 13th ranked Oregon beat Washington State 58-50. And is it a final? Do we have a final? Do we have a final? Do we have any finals? Yes, we do. Do we have a final? Yes. Yes, we do have a final. In our lovely game that we are closely watching. How close? You can just feel their breath. That's close. Mm-hmm. And you want to say it? UCLA wins. UCLA wins. 68-66. We'll give you a little update on that game as developments arise. But it looks as though UCLA will beat Stanford 68-66, more or less. Let's go. Let's go, folks. Let's go make this a happy time, a happy occasion. Yes, friends, it's time for more basketball. Let's go from the college to the pros. That's right. We got pros here. And we got some games that are still going on. Let's give you an update on those games as well. At the end of 3 quarters of play, it's the Sacramento Kings over the New York Knicks, 76-72. 8:32 remaining in the fourth. It's the LA Clippers 99, Oklahoma City Thunder 85. 8:33 in the fourth. It's the Denver Nuggets 98, Phoenix Suns 97. Now let's hit some finals. And here we go. In overtime, Indiana Pacers beat the Orlando Magic 120-118. The Chicago Bulls defeated the Charlotte Hornets 123-110. Well, the Rockets are back in the winning streak. They beat up on the Pistons 103-102. Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Brooklyn Nets 125-113. Toronto Raptors 101-81 winner over the Miami Heat. Philadelphia 76ers beat up on the Celtics 122-110. Atlanta Hawks beat up on the Timberwolves of Minnesota 116-98. Dallas Mavericks over the San Antonio Spurs 122-117. Washington Wizards, Milwaukee Bucks, Memphis Grizzlies, Portland Trail Blazers were canceled. Yeah, let's get you over to the National Hockey League, find out how they're going. Then we'll take our first little promotional brochette. again, William Hill Sportsbook sponsors the scores here on Sports Final. And we got one game that is still going on. They have just reached second intermission. Colorado Avalanche and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks are tied at one apiece. At finals, yes, we do have a lot of finals, so let's get to them. Finals in a shootout. Washington Capitals over the Buffalo Sabres, 4-3. Vrana, 1 goal for Washington. Carlson for Washington, 1 assist. And Cousins for Buffalo, 1 goal. Toronto Maple Leafs over the Edmonton Oilers, 4-2. Anderson and Tavares, Anderson, 30 saves. Tavares, 1 goal, both from Toronto. And Draisaitl from Edmonton, 1 goal. Final score in shootout. The Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Rangers 4-3. Rust, he had no rust. He had 1 goal for Pittsburgh. Di Giuseppe for the Rangers, 2 assists. And Joseph for Pittsburgh, 1 assist. Minnesota Wild defeated the San Jose Sharks 4-1. Parisi for Minnesota, 1 goal. Eriksson Ek for Minnesota, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Dubnyk for San Jose, 25 saves. Linda Steele, Chicago Blackhawks whipped the Detroit Red Wings by a score of 4-1. Lankinen for Chicago, 30 saves. Kane for Chicago, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Larkin, the captain of Detroit, 1 goal. Those are your 3 stars. Speaking of stars, Dallas Stars blanked the Nashville Predators, 7-0. Pavlovsky for Dallas, 2 goals, 2 assists. Kudobin for Dallas, 34 saves. And Radulov for Dallas, 2 goals, 1 assist. And finally, the Arizona Coyotes defeated and handily defeated the Vegas Golden Knights 5-2. Garland for Arizona, 1 goal, 2 assists. Schmaltz for Arizona, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Kremper for Arizona, 29 saves. Friends, those are your 3 stars, and that's your NHL scoreboard right there. That there's your NC2A scoreboard. And we done did it right. Okay, let's get you some more, and then we'll take time to tell you what's up with Nick and the gang. Right now, right now. Hi there. Okay, let's get this going here, shall we? Because this is gonna be good. This is gonna be nice. All right, our golf coverage begins with, of course, the American Express Championship. And although Sungjae Im, come on, lower down, thank you. Although Sungjae Im hasn't been on the PGA Tour for very long, the 22-year-old South Korean already feels awfully comfortable on the generous desert courses of La Quinta, California at the American Express. So do plenty of other pros, and that's why the leaderboard is so crowded heading into the weekend. Im shot a 765 at the American Express, taking 1-stroke lead over first-round leader Brandon Hagee and 4 others. Im, the Tour's Rookie of the Year in 2019, had 7 birdies in a bogey-free round on the stadium course at PGA West, highlighted by 3 in 4 holes around the turn. After struggling with his putter in recent weeks, he banged in a 22-footer and an 18-footer for consecutive birdies late in his round. Hagee was in position to join Im at 11 under, but he bogeyed his final hole with a tee shot to a fairway bunker to finish his 70. Canada's Nick Taylor had 66, South Korea's Siwoo Kim, 68, Tony Finau, 66, and Mexico's Abraham Ancia, 65. Also were 10 under. Emilio Grillo was 66, and Francisco Molinari also 66, along with Doug Giem at 68. They were 2 shots off the lead, and 8 more were at 8 under. And, of course, you can watch the American Express Championships channel. Anyway, Let's get to it. Let's go to the headlines and give you some stories. Let's continue on this headline tour. Well, the Houston Texans finally, well, they may have got some good news. Josh McCown spent most of the 2020 season on the Houston Texans practice squad. On Friday, a 41-year-old quarterback interviewed to spend the 2021 season as the team's new head coach. McCown, a 19-year veteran who had 1 year remaining on his current contract, was one of two candidates that have recently interviewed for the Texans head coaching vacancy. The other candidate is Jim Caldwell, a longtime NFL coach who led the Colts to an AFC championship in 2009. He also had a 4-year run as the Detroit Lions head coach, and some say should have been longer. Yeah, he's had 2 interviews with Houston since the team fired Bill O'Brien 4 games into last season. While he has no college or NFL coaching experience, McCown's strong leadership traits, and that's what you got to have made him a candidate for the position, according to Mike Garofalo of the NFL Network. If he is picked to be the Texans' new coach, Houston would hire at least one former NFL head coach to put on McCown's staff, according to Garofalo. A 2002 third-round pick, McCown has played for 9 teams during his NFL career. In 2010, before signing with Arizona, McCown served as a voluntary quarterbacks coach for Marvin Ridge High School in North Carolina. McCown occasionally volunteered at school, including serving as a scout team quarterback. Over the next several years, he is currently the coach at his son's school, Myers Park High School in Charlotte. Now, if hired, McCown will be the first active player to immediately become an NFL head coach since former quarterback Norm Van Brocklin went from player for the Eagles to coaching the Vikings in '61. Van Brocklin went 66-107 in 3 seasons, that includes 6 seasons in Minnesota and another 7 with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, among other candidates, Texans have interviewed so far, including Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, Bills defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier, former Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis, and Colts defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Eberflus. Everybody does the Eberflus. Okay, we got more sports coming to you in a shake of a lamb's tail. Right now, you're probably all saying, hey, what's that humble Minnesota attorney, Nick Rekieta, got on his show tonight? Well, we're here to tell you because we're neighbors in YouTube Lane. So, what have we got? Well, usually Friday means Drexel appears, but this Friday we have Nate the lawyer as guest as he and Nick talk over a little bit of the Wishgate. So join Nick, Nate the lawyer, and maybe Drexel. You never know. It's all coming up on Law Splaining the Interwebs. It's Friday, which means it's a free-for-all on Rekieta Channel, midnight Eastern. That's about 3 minutes ago. So there you go. Rekieta Law Channel, midnight to about 3 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. And with that lovely little interlude, and it's not a crude lewd, but it's a lewd. Let's get back to more of the headlines that we make into detail here on Sports Final. And, oh, wow. Also, and by the way, don't forget Sunday, we have the Rabbi and his NFL Championship Sunday picks. That's right, he's going to pick the 2 teams that are going to the Super Bowl. It should be fun. So, let's get going. More headlines. And the Chicago Bears have decided on a new defensive coordinator. Chicago Bears didn't have to search far to find their new defensive coordinator, much like I'm having to find a new teleprompter. In fact, the Bears chose their longest tenured staff member. On Friday night, the Bears officially named former safeties coach Sean Dezier as our new defensive Desai, as our new defensive coordinator. Desai, who has been with the franchise since 2013, will replace Chug Pagano after he retired from coaching earlier this month. Apparently, he didn't like to be embarrassed anymore. Desai spent the past 2 seasons as Chicago's safeties coach. Before that, he served as the team's defensive quality control coach. Last season, the Bears boasted the league's 12th best pass defense. Chicago was also 8th in the NFL in third down efficiency and 5th in red zone efficiency. Tayshaun Gibson, Chicago's starting free safety, finished the season in a tie for the team lead in interceptions. Strong safety Eddie Jackson, a Pro Bowler, the previous 2 seasons set career highs in tackles with 82 and forced fumbles, 3, during the 2020 season. The success of their backfield helped the Bears clinch a playoff berth for the second time in Matt Nagy's 3 seasons as coach. The 37-year-old Desai began his coaching career in 2006 when he was named the defensive and special teams coach at Temple. He spent 5 years in that position before serving as Miami's assistant director of football operations for the 2011 season. Desai spent the 2012 season at Boston College's running backs coach and special teams coordinator before joining Bears staff. Now, as Chicago's quality control assistant, Desai worked with the team's linebackers and defensive backs while also assisting on special teams. Under his watch, Jackson, linebacker Khalil Mack, and cornerback Kyle Fuller were tabbed as all-pro performers during the 2018 season. Their success helped the Bears win their first division title in 8 years. Desai will have a talented group to work with in 2021, along with Jackson, Mack, and Fuller. Bears' defense will also include linebackers Raquan Smith and Danny Trevathan, one of the NFL's biggest Pro Bowl snubs. Smith tallied 139 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions last season. Trevathan finished second on the team with 113 tackles. Now, 2 areas the Bears' defense will have to improve in 2021 are turnovers and pass rush. Chicago was just 25th in the NFL in forced turnovers last season. Their 35-team sacks were good for 17th in the league. So, a little good news there for Bears fans. Let's hope it'll stick. Okay, let's keep the view coming. And yes, friends, we do our due diligence. Major League Baseball, the Hot Stove League took a day off, so that's more quite possibles here. Let's get going. Free agency continues to churn, and there were some signings to give you. Let's take a quick look. The Hot Stove League was somewhat smoldering. Utility man Jurickson Profar has agreed to a 3-year deal, $21 million to remain with the Padres, according to ESPN's Jeff Pizan. The 27-year-old Profar hit .278, .343, .428, with 6 doubles, 7 homers, 25 ribs with special sauce, and a packet of Arby's sauce. 28 runs, 7 stolen bases, and 202 plate appearances for the upstart Padres last season. Now, on a rate basis, it was probably the best year of his career. He even posted his second best WAR, 1.4, despite the abbreviated season. The Padres are stocking up on depth, and there isn't really a clear line to everyday playing time for Profar. The infield has Eric Hosmer at first, Jake Cronenworth at second, Fernando Tatis at short, and Manny Machado at third. In the outfield, there's Will Myers in right, Trent Grisham in center, Tommy Pham in left. Ha-Seong Kim and Profar would be the primary options to back up at several positions now. The Red Sox and utility player Enrique Hernandez have agreed to a multi-year deal, according to Mark Feinsand over at MLB.com. The contract is worth $14 million. I wonder if he plays the lotto. Hernandez entered the winner ranked number 51 on the CBSSport.com top 60 free agent list. And he comes very, very recommendable. Hernandez figures to serve in a multi-position capacity for the Red Sox, likely seeking action at both second and left field. The Nationals have agreed terms for first baseman Ryan Zimmerman on a one-year deal worth $1 million, according to Bob Nightingale of the USA Today. The 36-year-old Zimmerman opted out last year because of COVID-19 concerns. This upcoming season, then, will mark his 16th, all spent with the Nationals. During that time, he's at 279, 343, 475 with 270 home runs, 38.5 wins above replacement per Baseball Reference calculations. Now, the Miami Marlins have agreed to sign right-hander Anthony Bass to a 2-year deal, reports MLB's John Morrissey. The move continues a theme for new general manager Kim Nig. As Bass marks the 5th reliever from outside the organization she has added since taking reins. The Marlins shocked the baseball world by going 31-29, but their 2 key late-inning relievers, Brad Boxberger and Brandon Kinsler, hit free agency. Ning has acquired righties Adam Kimber, Zach Pop, and Paul Campbell, Rule 5 pick, along with lefty Ross Detweiler to show up the depth, and now Bass enters the fray. Finally, the Cubs, having traded their number 2 catcher, Victor Caratini, to the Padres earlier this offseason, in the Hugh Darvish deal, the Cubs have now added a viable big league backup for Winston Contreras, assuming he isn't traded, which remains still to be seen. In Austin Romine, the deal is for 1 year and $1.5 million, reports NBC Sports Chicago's Gordon Wittenmeyer. The 32-year-old Romine hit .238, .259, .323, and 135 plate appearances with the Tigers last year. He did hit .281 in 2019 with the Yankees, but he's been mostly a glove-first backup catcher in his career. And that is the Hot Stove League for a Friday, now Saturday night, or Saturday morning. Friday night on the West Coast, Saturday morning, early Saturday morning here in the East Coast. Okay. Let's get you back with more scores. Or not, well, truly scores. Okay, we will get to soccer and everything else coming up, but right now we go from scores to something that was reported on earlier. In fact, it's been rumored, and now the rumors apparently are true. That's right. The rumors reportedly come true. After 5 years on the air and 25 years in total, and we'll explain that in a bit. According to John Aran of the Sports Business Journal, Comcast NBC Universal has been telling sports leagues and distributors that they will be shutting down, pulling the plug of NBCSN by the end of this year. In his article about the shutdown, Aran notes that many of NBC's prime sports properties, notably the NHL, the Premier League, and NASCAR, would have events shifted to either USA Network and NBC's broadcast network. Smaller events will be out of luck, though many will probably end up getting shifted to Peacock. Peacock will also continue housing Premier League content, and NBC has reportedly told the NHL it will also have a place on the streaming service Peacock if the two parties do continue their relationship past this summer. Golf Channel and the Olympic Channel, remember all the words that were written about the Olympic Channel and the endless lead up to its launch? Well, about that. Will be unaffected by the NBCSN shutdown. Now, if there would be a time to make this move for NBC, it would be now. Aran reports that carriage deals for NBCSN with Charter and Dish expire this year. While NBC TV's deal with the NHL ends after this season and their deal with the Premier League ends next summer, the company's NASCAR deal will end after the 2023 season. NBC launched at the start of 2012, though it took a year and a half for that to become the official name, as opposed to the longer and rather boring NBC Sports Network. It was a rebrand of Versus, which was a rebrand of the Outdoor Life Network. When it became Versus, it came under the NBC umbrella after Comcast's purchase of the company in 2011. Now, Comcast was the original owner of the Outdoor Life Network, but when they took over NBC and Universal therein, Comcast rebranded the Outdoor Life Network to Versus. Now, the most jarring part of this is that NBC-SN hasn't exactly been a failure. Just 2 years ago, it usurped ESPN2 as the country's second most watched sports network. And it ranked second again in 2020, now despite the pandemic. But viewership alone isn't enough, and NBC is clearly banking on Peacock rather than NBC-SN as the future now. What could possibly replace NBC-SN as it slowly shuts down? Well, there are rumors that G4, the computer gaming and cult classic channel of those bygone days, may be relaunching again. And I just have a feeling that's what it might happen to be. G4 will have a home on NBC-SN. This will also mark the return of sports to the USA Network. Now, as many of you know, USA Network prided itself on not only being a full-time cable network, they also had a niche for sports, from NHL hockey to soccer, college football, college basketball, and yes, Major League Baseball. And that is going to be interesting. Yes, it is. Let's give you more headlines before we entertain the international crowd. ESPN is reportedly planning to keep Steve Levy, Brian Griese, and Louis Riddick on Monday Night Football, but it might change if Philip Rivers, late of the Indianapolis Colts, who retired this week, if Rivers joins ESPN, that might just change a little bit. Yes, it will. And that is your look at some awful announcing news. That's right. Let's keep going. It's 18 minutes past the hour of midnight Eastern time here on the broadcast. Hi, Kiba. Okay. Let's take you now to that wonderful thing we call football, otherwise known as soccer here in the States. And we give you the look of football. That's right. It's time for scoreboard number one. And here we go. Scoreboard number one. Let's go to it and get you to the FA Cup fourth round. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they call them the Wanderer, defeated Chorley 1-0. In the Championship, Watford defeated Stoke City. In League Two, Harrogate Town and Salford City tied at 2. Scottish Championship, Arbroath and Dundee tied at 1. Simaru Premier, the game between the Severn Druids and Aberystwyth Town was postponed due to some reason like COVID. Spanish La Liga action, Levante and Real Valladolid, they ended up in a 2-2 tie, so they went to a ballet. German Bundesliga, Borussia Mönchengladbach defeated Borussia Dortmund 4-2. Italian cities A, Benevento and Torino tied at 2. French league action, Paris Saint-Germain blanked Montpellier for 2-0. Australian A-League action, Central Coast Mariners 2-0 winner over Sydney FC. In the Austrian Bundesliga, Rapid Vienna 4-1 winner over Sturm Graz. In Belgium, Anderlecht over Wassenland Beveren Husseids. Brazilian Series A, Corinthians 3, Sport nothing. And in Dutch action, it was Zwolle, a 3-1 winner over Willem. And there you go, right there, in a provocative nutshell. And now, shout-outs to our friends on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and MySpace. Hello to one and all. And to our friends also on Minds and Gab Social. And with that, we span the globe because we can't span the world. Otherwise, we get sued by Disney for using an ABC mention. Oh, it's good. Okay. Let's get you ready. It's scoreboard time. Scoreboard time. Everybody get scoreboard time. You need the scores. We got it for you. It's scoreboard time. And right now, let's go luridly through international basketball. Stop over in Europe for the Euro League. Fenerbahce beat up CSKA Moscow 89-83. Barcelona over Crvena Zvezda Mountains 72-60. Zalgiris Kaunas over Olympiacos 81-79. Alba Berlin over Baskonia 84-77. All right. We got some updates from the National Basketball Association. 1 minute remaining in overtime. The Denver Nuggets lead the Phoenix Suns 118-116. And 11 minutes into the fourth quarter, it is the New York Knicks launching a little comeback. But the Sacramento Kings still lead 96-89. Now, let's get to some international hockey from the Czech Republic. The Extraliga Plzeň over Mountfield HK 5-3. In the shootout, it was Liberec over Zilin 3-2. Litvinov over Kesk Bujojsvik 4-3. Mlada Bolsov over Trinek 3-2. Vitkovice. Not Dog Police, but Vitkovice over Olomouc 2-1. Sparta Prague over Kometa Brno 4-2. Finland, we all love you so. I just stubbed my toe. Whoa. Okay, Pelicans over Salpa 2-1. Cuckoo over Drew Crete 6-1. TPS Turku a 2-1 win over Karpat. And Kalpa beat JYP. You know what I mean? You're down with JYP? 2-1 was the final score. And that, oh, wait a minute. We're not done yet. No, sir. Nom de plume. Nope. We got little baseball scores for you. Then we can say our farewells. Farewell to thee and farewell to sea. Of course, if we missed anything, we will, of course, bring you tomorrow. We'll, of course, have what we like to call the smorgasbord. That's right. We'll bring you some of the stories that we forgot to bring you tonight. We'll move up till tomorrow in our sports leftovers. And with that said, let's get to it. In Venezuela in the playoffs, LVBP, it was Anzo Etegüe blanking Lara 6-0. In the Australian Baseball League, Melbourne beat Brisbane 4-3. Canberra defeated Sydney 9-3. Sydney and Perth were postponed. However, Canberra defeated Sydney 7-1. And in the second game of the doubleheader, in the second inning, it's Canberra over Sydney 1-0. In Mexico at the LMP playoffs, Hermosillo defeated Tomateros 2-1. And in Puerto Rico LBPRC playoffs, it was Criollas Caguas over Indios de Maguas 7-5. And folks, I tell it like it is. That's it for us. We have, almost it for us. We got one more little report to do, and we will then take off for the evening and into the dark of night. In the National Football League, we do have some sad news to report. No, the season hasn't been canceled. There we go. Tony Jones, former NFL offensive lineman who won 2 Super Bowls with the Denver Broncos, passed away at the age of 54. The Broncos confirmed Jones's passing this evening. An NFL lineman from 88 to 2000, Jones spent his first 8 seasons with the Cleveland Browns before moving with the team to Baltimore in 96. After 1 season with the Ravens, Jones spent his final 4 seasons in Denver. With Jones as their starting right tackle, the 97 Broncos won the franchise's first Super Bowl. Following season, Jones and the Broncos repeated as champions, Pro Bowler during the 98 season. After moving to left tackle, Jones remained in the starting lineup during his final 2 seasons. Tony Jones, dead at the age of 54. And that, my friends, is how you do the week of sports. And we have had a unique week, to say the least, but it continues tomorrow with our Saturday show at 11:35 as usual. Of course, Sunday we are on at midnight, right after we go live to tape with Last Call Cafe and Wrestle Anime Hut, all on Spreaker. But for now, that is going to do it for us. So for Uno, the Mouse Assassin, for my mom, Sharon Baxley, for myself, and everybody that worked hard to bring you this program. They worked so hard, they deserve a break. So we're going to give them a break. We'll see you Saturday night at 11:35. Until then, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley saying, as usual, take care. Thank you for watching. And as always, blessings. This has been a presentation of the L2C Media Network in association with the L2C Sports and the YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Steve Baxley from everybody here. Thank you. Good night, and work the wizard forever. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have a lady pirate with us. So we'll see you tomorrow night, 11:35, right here on youtube.com/LoveNet6. Good night, everybody. Be well and blessings.